Welcome to Soul Tales Daily, where simple stories echo deep emotions, joy, sorrow, greed, and glimpses of humanity. Stay a while, maybe you'll find yourself in one of them. Right finger hit subscribe and make every day a story to remember. Dizzy. The house stands tall among the rolling green hills of the English countryside, a symbol of wealth and prosperity. But if you look inside, you will see a rift tearing at its soul. What is happening to the Kingston family? In the English countryside, where the rolling hills are like green silk, covered with morning mist, hides a great grey stone manor, Kingston. Here, the wind carries the scent of sweet grass and the chirping of birds, creating a peaceful picture. The Kingston family lives here, known for their wealth and generous smiles. The heavy iron gate closed, cutting off the splendor outside. Inside the boss's office, the atmosphere was thick with tension. Mr. Arthur Kingston, a man with salt and pepper hair and sharp eyes, sat on the armchair. He was not simply greedy for money, he was hungry for power, hungry for a legacy greater than his late father. He bent over a loss report, his face scowling. He slammed the paper down on the table, the dry sound echoing. Arthur. Lack again. This legacy project needs more capital. We cannot let ourselves become losers. Eleanor Kingston, with her proud platinum hair and stern face, entered. She did not crave money, she craved social status. She needed lavish parties, envious glances and flattery to fill her fear of aging and meaninglessness. She put her teacup down on the table forcefully. She looked at her husband with cold, resentful eyes. Eleanor, isn't it because you've spent too much money on those crazy projects? Do you know how much the diamond necklace Duchess Camilla just wore costs? That's the way to maintain our status. Arthur laughed contemptuously, but it was a dry, cold laugh like a knife. He stood up abruptly and walked in front of his wife. Arthur. Who do you think I do all this for? For the name Kingston. True happiness is when we stand above all. It is power, and power buys everything. Eleanor did not back down. She looked straight into her husband's eyes, her eyes filled with no less madness. Eleanor. Then look at what that power has turned you into. You can no longer see anything but money. The ring on my hand, the diamond on my neck, they are symbols of wealth, but also shackles that are tightening around us every day. The two stood facing each other, in a luxurious space filled with hatred, like two strangers fighting to win something that does not exist. Greed had turned love into ashes. Catherine, their daughter, stood silently at the stairs, not to listen to the argument, but to look for a way out. She was a pure white rose in a garden full of thorns, with long, wavy brown hair and sad, distant eyes that hid a rich inner world. Unlike her parents, she did not care about money or fame. Catherine spent her days painting, capturing the beauty of the endless green meadows, the wildflowers along the roadside, and the sparkling sunset over the manor. Her paintings were not sold for money, they were where she poured out her dreams of a peaceful life. Catherine. Mom and Dad, we have enough. Happiness is not about having more money. Catherine's words were cut off. Eleanor looked at her daughter with disappointment. Eleanor. You know, money can buy not only luxury, but also respect. You are so naive, this world is not forgiving to the weak. While the Kingston family was immersed in greed, they were unaware of a dangerous enemy tightening its siege. Count Valerius, a man with cold eyes and a sly smile, had been secretly observing them for a long time. He didn't just want money, he wanted revenge. Many years ago, his father was cheated by the Kingston family, went bankrupt, and died in disgrace. Valerius grew up with a burning hatred, vowing to make the Kingston family suffer the ultimate pain. He took advantage of Arthur's greed, secretly buying up the debts from his risky investment projects and useless auctions. Like a spider patiently spinning a web, Count Valerius tightened the debt rope, waiting for the right moment to take it all. Count Valerius. Over the phone. Mr. Arthur Kingston. I think we need to have a little talk about your debts. Ha ha ha. That night, Count Valerius came to the manor. He presented documents showing that the entire Kingston family fortune had been taken over by him. Count Valerius. Congratulations, Arthur. Everything you have, from the land to the brick, now belongs to me. Greed has blinded you. You have focused so much on getting rich that you have forgotten who is dangerous. Arthur was stunned, he collapsed, tearing his hair out in despair. Eleanor knelt down and sobbed. All the splendor collapsed, leaving behind a rotten inside. After the fateful night, the Kingston family lost everything. All they had left was a suitcase of old clothes and faded family photos. They had to leave the manor and move to a strange industrial city where the noise of machinery replaced the chirping of birds. Their new life was full of harshness. Arthur, who had known only profit and legacy, accepted a job as a laborer in a hot steel foundry. His hands, once soft and accustomed to signing contracts, were now calloused and bleeding. Eleanor, who had lived in luxury and craved social status, became a laundress, her hands, once covered in expensive lotions, now blistered by cold soapy water. She bowed to the women she had once despised. Catherine, who had painted to escape reality, realized the value of labor. She sold her paintings on the sidewalk, earning every penny. She learned to appreciate every penny, every nod from the buyer. As time passed, they were no longer rich, but in the cramped house, a miracle blossomed: love. One evening, after a frugal meal, Arthur took Eleanor's swollen hands and said, "I'm sorry. I made us lose everything." Eleanor burst into tears, but they were not tears of resentment, but of liberation. They had lost all their money, but the shackles of greed were gone. They began to talk, share trivial stories of the day, and exchange the first genuine smiles in many years. They learned that happiness is not something born from wealth, but is built on consensus, love, and repentance. This story is a reminder that happiness cannot be built on a foundation of greed. Wealth and fame are just thin veneers, hiding the corruption of hearts controlled by greed. True happiness lies in love, compassion and family bonds, and sometimes, only when you lose everything, do you find yourself again. If you feel this story touches your heart, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on other inspirational stories. Life always has valuable lessons, and we will discover them together.